Welcome back. You are still watching Morning Live. Now, on the 18th of January, Cape Town will be hosting the world's top breakers for the FUJIFILM INSTAX Undisputed Masters. Now, Undisputed is a global breaking competition series that has been showcasing the best breakers in the world since 2014. With previous editions held in major cities such as London, Los Angeles, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, and New York, the event has become a highlight on the international breaking circuit. To talk about this, we've roped in South African breakdancing legend Vouks Nojokes James. A very good morning to you, Vouks. How are you this morning?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure hosting you because we started out on Yo TV back in the day.
And here we are.
And here we are
Right.
today. So let's speak about the FUJIFILM INSTAX Undisputed Masters and why it's such a big deal for a competition of this magnitude to be coming not only to South Africa, but to the African continent.
Right. I mean, like, as they say, you know, Africa's the future, you know, and I think, you know, our South African and African talent, they really need the spotlight. So what, you know, Undisputed is doing is really putting a spotlight on African talent and prioritize African talent so the rest of the world can see it because, you know, they have a worldly platform and, you know, we don't create enough videos for the world to see what's happening on the African continent. So having this on the African continent for the first time, I think it's super motivated for the breaking community, for the hip-hop community. So yeah, it's a win for Africa.
A win for Africa indeed. Perhaps for our viewers at home, let's give them a breakdown of what the makeup of the competition looks like. What does it entail? Are we looking at a group format? Are we looking at individual breakers? How does it all come together on the day on the 18th?
Yes, so on the day on the 18th, we have men's solo, female solo, and we have a group section, which is 5-on-5, basically. So the winner will go to the world finals in those three categories.
And where are the world finals?
The world finals is in Tokyo, so my bag's already packed. I hope they will send you to the world finals because, yeah, it's just an amazing event, you know, it's an amazing platform. And I think even the prize money is so crazy. And I think, you know, there's so many competitions around the world, but most of them don't focus on prize money. And I think this is where, you know, you can go home and tell mom and dad, I won like 15,000 or 70,000 or whatever the case may be. And that's how you will get more support from parents because now it's not just the hobby, it's a sport right now, as we see with the Olympics. So I think the investment
certain parts of the Olympics.
Certain parts, the good parts, the good parts of the Olympics. Yeah. So I think it's a great platform. It's a great spotlight for African talent. So the world can see them and get invites after that. Yeah.
Let's delve a little bit deeper into it because we speak about the FUJIFILM INSTAX Undisputed Masters. And you've been part of the breaking community of South Africa for over 30 years now. I mean, starting out with Prophets of the City until now. When you look at a competition of this magnitude, how would you say then it shapes up the culture of breaking in South Africa?
Right. I mean, like, I would say like we are, say, the fourth generation. Right now we go into the fifth and the sixth generation because breaking has been around for 40 years in South Africa. And I mean, like, I would say I'm a product from the Cape Flats and from the townships. So this platform is very important to shape the future of breaking and the youth in South Africa because it just gives them, you know, something else to hold on and something else to look forward to after school. So it's just not sitting on a corner, whatever the case may be. Now you create a community and new friends that's into the same thing. You know, creating community and hip-hop is about community. So breaking was definitely, you know, that community that I never had. So I think definitely where we're heading right now, the future is definitely breaking and also just like pouring into the youth. You know, because there's a lot going on. So having this as a sport, it's just beneficial to the parents and the kids.
And perhaps we do have parents that are sitting at home right now watching, and they're saying, well, I don't really identify breaking as a sport. I don't identify it as something that can get my youngsters off the streets. But perhaps, folks, we can speak a little bit more about your journey, because you speak of the community that you never had. You speak about growing up in the Cape Flats. And earlier on, you were saying to me, for you, it got you off the streets because you were just so invested in getting your next move better, getting the next move right.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, like, for parents, they need to understand, it's always about your tribe, So if you expose your kids to music and dance, because on the African, we vibrate on music and dance on the African continent, And I would definitely say, if your child look at the video online and there's interest, just engage and help him, and also research where he or she can get classes, and that will help in a safe space, because it's always about, parents are always concerned about safe spaces, basically, for their kids. And there's a lot of studios around the country that can really help them with that. So for me, back then, we didn't have studios where we can go and sign up, but now there's plenty of studios, and that's what I'm saying, just the benefits from the Olympics. And it is a sport. Gaten McKenzie spoke on it. And the Youth Olympics are coming up on the African continent, in 2026. So there's a lot to look forward to.
All right, so one of our producers does have a question for you. She'd like to know your thoughts on Reagan's retirement.
My thoughts on Reagan, thank you for promoting. Promoting. She did promote it in a good way, and more people know about it. But in terms of her qualifications, you will see the best of the best on the 18th of January at the waterfront in Cape Town in South Africa. You will definitely see, like, pure culture, pure talent.
Actual breakdancing.
Actual breakdancing. so yeah, FUJIFILM Instex Undisputed is definitely such a hype event for South Africa and the African community. So yeah, it's going to be such an amazing event, and I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. I think I'm more excited and more hype. I was about to do a head spin here just to show you guys, what breaking is about. It's okay. The 18th, we can be together.
I would have moved this table myself. I would have moved this table myself just to see those moves. Well, Vouks, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Of course, just speaking about the FUJIFILM Instax Undisputed Masters, it will be taking place in Cape Town on the 18th of January. So come through in your numbers at the waterfront and be part of the movement and the vibe that it brings. And it's the first time that it's happening in the African continent. So definitely a win and a victory for South Africa, Cape Town, and Africa.